Okay, the Redevelopment Agency meeting of February 1st, 2017 is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. Please note, customers of CenturyLink, you may view this program in high definition on channel 1002. The Redevelopment Agency meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, may be viewed on the internet at www.kclv.tv/live. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. Also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday 7 p.m., Sunday 7 a.m., the following Monday at 5 p.m. This building is protected by a state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler system. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits back of the chambers out to the mezzanine. Proceed out the double doors to the terrace, down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with a marshal or fire official for assistance. And once outside, please assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First Streets. Employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related items on the agenda, citizen participation and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you may complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online, the clerk's office, or at the rear of the chambers. If you do not submit a card, it does not prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If anyone's present today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please see the city clerk's staff. If you parked in the parking garage across the street, please be sure to have your ticket validated by security officers when exiting. We'll move on to agenda item 3. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. The amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. All comments made will be cross-referenced to those specific items. If anyone submitted a speaker card or who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda, please come to the podium and state your name for the record. This is your opportunity to address the agency, but the agency members are not able to respond or engage in any dialogue. We'll set the time at 1 minute. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item 4. For possible action to approve the final minutes by reference to the regular Redevelopment Agency meeting of December 21st, 2016. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I would make a motion to approve the minutes, Your Honor.
Thank you. There's a motion. Please vote and please post. I voted. You're good. Okay. And Councilman Barlow is excused, so that motion carries. Agenda item 5, RA1-2017, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the Commercial Visual Improvement Program agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and RMCM Property Partnership LLC owner located at 700 South 3rd Street to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the execution of CVIP agreement by the RDA not to exceed $25,000, RDA Special Revenue Fund, Redevelopment Area Award 3 with Councilman Coffin. This item is related to our council agenda item 28, R4-2017. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor, members of the City Council, and Redevelopment Agency Board. For the record, Bill Arndt, Director, Economic and Urban Development. With me today is Dan Carvalho of the law firm Rogers, Mastrangelo, Carvalho, and Mitchell. This company is investing in our downtown and is eligible to participate in our visual improvement program, our Commercial Visual Improvement Program, or CVIP, where we provide a matching grant to business owners in our downtown to help improve their business storefronts. This property is located at 700 South 3rd Street, and the property is approximately 15,000 feet, 15,429 feet. The property is going to be looking to do a lot of improvements, including new landscaping, painting, installing a new sidewalk, and restriping of the existing parking lot. And the business owner is looking to spend over $1.7 million in renovations to the property. They're therefore eligible for a $25,000 VIP grant. The surrounding area definitely needs some help, and so we are very thankful and appreciative of this business owner investing in our downtown, and we believe that this is going to be a catalyst to spur new improvements in the area. This is a rendering of what the property is going to look like afterwards. Looks like a fun place to do business and work. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dan. And Dan, if you could introduce yourself and tell a little bit about the firm and the investment you're making and why you're investing in downtown.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, Mayor and council members. My name's Dan Carvalho, and I'm here on behalf of this LLC we created, RMCM Property Partnership. And first, I want to thank all of you for the opportunity and your consideration for this grant for our business. We started this business approximately 12 years ago, like a lot of law firms, that when attorneys get a little bit older and decide maybe we could do this on our own, and we broke off and started this firm. And when we were deciding about where to relocate, we'd been renting for years and decided we wanted to invest and be owners rather than tenants. This grant was something that was exciting to us because we knew that we could use some of the money to do some things that may not be. And as a first-time developer, I learned quickly a lot of things become out of the budget. And we primarily would like to do, as you see, I don't know if this rendering is still up. I learned very quickly when the architect prepared this that those metal panels, in other words, rather than having stucco on the front of a building, is expensive. And those kinds of aesthetic exterior improvements are what we really would like to use the grant for. We have 9 attorneys now. This building, I think, will give us an opportunity to expand and grow. We actually hope to have some tenants. When we get our certificate of occupancy, we expect to have some space available to lease. And I'm happy to answer any questions that Mayor or council members may have about the project, and thank you again for your consideration.
Thank you. It looks beautiful. Is parking underground there, or no?
No, there is. We have a 42 space, I believe, covered lot that's directly west of the building across the alleyway. And one of the things that we're doing is putting an electric gate in there. It's become an encampment for some homeless people. And we're going to build an electric gate that's always locked and closed.
And assuming it might pass today, what is your timeline? When would you hope to have it completed, and when would you be in?
Your Honor, I believe, and assuming I'm learning the process of development and how things can be delayed, but I think that in May of this year, we should be ready to go.
Excellent. Any comments, questions? Beautiful. Councilman, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one question, Dan. The sign, which is the frontage on 3rd Street? Are we looking at the elevation from 3rd or?
Yes.
What?
Yes, exactly. So this would be, you are standing and looking west on 3rd Street at the front of the property. And so Garces would be directly to, as you're looking at this rendering, Councilman, it would be, Garces would be to the right of the photograph.
But I don't see you on the corner. I see you on 3rd. I didn't see.
Yeah, it actually is. This sort of monument sign in the rendering would sort of be so people on Garces could see it coming from one direction and people on 3rd could see it from another.
So it's on two sides. Okay, good.
That's correct,
Right.
Councilman.
And just make sure of the latest revisions to the design of 3rd Street. Make sure your architect is familiar with the fact that we're building a greenway there, and there are setbacks, there are advantages. It's going to be nice. But just make sure that you're aware of all of the things that have been happening. And I think that Bill can fill you in on that. Maybe he already has. Is that
Yes,
right,
sir.
Bill? Would you say they're up to date on that?
That's accurate. We are planning the open space and what will look like a green belt. I'm not sure that we've had a lot of discussions with Dan about that, but we'll make sure that he and his firm are aware of that so that they can incorporate that. And that should be taken into consideration when it's going through the development review and building process
yeah,
for the city.
yeah.
Excuse me, Councilman?
Yes, ma'am.
Weren't those pocket parks that were planned on Third?
No, ma'am,
Is that what you're speaking?
it's sort of a
to?
continuous greenway,
Oh, is that what it's become?
green belt. It's not going to be
Okay.
a park.
Okay, and not pocket parks?
We don't
not-
use the word park, we don't use the word park on this particular project, though.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not a public park.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman laughing at me because she knows what I'm talking about. All right, I move for approval.
Thank you. There's a motion to approve. Please vote. And please post. Motion carries.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank Bill and let you know that June is a wonderful asset to the city, the way she helped us go through this application process. Made it a lot easier. I appreciate Bill and June for all your help. Thank you.
Thank you. We
Thank
wish you
you.
well, and we'll see you a bit later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 6, RA-2017, discussion for possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the Commercial Visual Improvement Program agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and Mr. Pickles LLC, owner, located 208 South Maryland Parkway, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, and authorizing the execution of the CVIP agreement by RDA not to exceed $25,000, RDA Special Revenue Fund Redevelopment Area 1, Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. This item is related to Council Agenda Item 29, R5-2017. Good morning.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of council, again, for the record, Bill Arndt, Economic and Urban Development. This item also is part of our VIP program. I'm excited to introduce Craig Palacios, who is an architect and principal with the firm Bunnyfish Studios. The property owner is Mr. Pickles LLC. There's a short story, if you care to hear that, from Mr. Palacios. The firm is investing in a property on 208 Maryland Parkway. And this is near the corner of Maryland Parkway and Carson. This area is seeing a lot of new investment recently, and they're planning to do significant work, including painting, masonry work, replacing doors, fencing, gates, and metal work, new landscaping and irrigation, and also the addition of a public art sculpture, which we think will be a wonderful asset to the community. We believe that this also is going to help to continue to revitalize this area and encourage other property owners to put some money into their properties, which is really the kind of the idea behind and the driving force behind the VIP program. If owners one by one start to invest in their properties, particularly the exterior, there can be a kind of a domino effect, if you will, of other property owners continuing to put more money into their properties. The business is putting in $365,000 into the property and therefore is eligible for a $25,000 VIP agreement. I'll end with showing you the before photo here, if you see what it looks like before the improvements. And then there's a rendering here of what it looks like afterwards. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Craig to introduce himself, his firm, what they're doing with the property, and the timeline of when we would see these improvements come to fruition. Craig.
Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council persons, thanks for having me. As stated, I'm Craig Palacios. I'm representing both Mr. Pickles LLC, the real estate holding group owned by myself, my wife, my business partner, her husband, and Bunnyfish Studio, who will be the majority tenant of the space. This isn't the first time I've stood before you as a group and met most of you individually during the 5 years that we've been in business. Most earliest when Mayor was still running in my little 8x8 office behind the kitchen at the Emergency Arts. Then we grew into about 250 square feet, and it felt very luxurious. And then most recently, we were at the Johnny Carson, which was an adaptive reuse project that we built, and we occupied 750 square feet towards the front with the balcony on Carson. We're extremely excited now to be able to have this opportunity to take this building that honestly I drove by back and forth to work every single day for 6 or 7 years and never even noticed because it was so overgrown by oleanders and trees. To find this mid-century modern gem tucked away there. We've gutted the building from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall, and as of Monday, we're operating inside of the building in a very appropriate type office, open space for a Bunnyfish studio with two new...
Excuse me, you said you're in the building already?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We haven't done any exterior improvements. It looks like the photographs. And then now, in the next couple months, we're going to start to improve the exterior, which includes new landscape, paint, and we're very excited to have Miguel Rodriguez commissioning a 7-foot Bunnyfish public art piece for the sidewalk. So,
That's exciting. Local artist?
yeah, he's Miguel Rodriguez. We've worked with him with other clients on a number of projects, and as has been my job for many years of helping clients to commission stuff, this is the first thing we'll be doing for us, and it's a very exciting experience. We've also done something that's very hard for architects to do, which is say, here's the place, you do what you want, and not micromanage them, so we'll see what
That
we
is
get.
very difficult for anybody. The other question I would have is, did you do any renovation, remodel besides painting to the interior? Or is that coming, since you're already in there?
No, the interior is built out already.
It is done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. Any questions, comments?
Mayor, I'm going to need to hear the story about Mr. Pickles.
So,
With your permission, of course.
Yes.
so the Bunnyfish story is probably a little more interesting, but Mr. Pickles is a name that we lovingly extracted from my business partner Tina's teeny tiny little miniature schnauzer with these cute little ears that has a ferocious bite. So, yeah, that's Mr. Pickles' story.
I think we should obey this until we see a picture.
No, I got a picture. Wait a minute.
The mayor's pulling it up.
I'm going to pull up my pickles. Okay, but tell everybody about Bunnyfish.
So Bunnyfish is an idea that Tina and I had when we were in graduate school about taking two fundamental things that are very different and smashing them together to create something new. So if you look at our adaptive reuse projects, there's been this ongoing sort of dialogue with owners and contractors and things like that, where when we have an old building, we'll build something new, and the tendency is to want to make the new things look old or to make the old things look new. But if you notice our projects, the old things look old and the new things look new, and it's a Bunnyfish. And we could have very easily called the company gray, like you can take black and white and smash them together and you get gray, and never can you pull black back out. But Bunnyfish is much more fun to say than gray.
Beautiful name, and it sure sticks with you. Are you satisfied, Mayor Pro Tem? You've got it
I am
all.
quite satisfied, yes. I
Great.
think we can move on.
Okay, Councilman Coffin, please.
Yeah, thank you. Just remember that architecture is one of the liberal arts. It is not a technical skill,
Not a
I think,
science.
sometimes more artistic than anything. By the way, that wall that is there now that you're going to preserve the wall because it's period, and you're going to put some lipstick on it here, I see in the rendering afterwards. But you know what, even for mid-century modern, it seemed kind of clunky, in a sense. It's got the lattice work. It's sort of a semi-Frank Lloyd Wright appeal to it, and you can kind of see through this, but you can't see very well through it. So I don't know what's behind that. Is that glass windows behind it?
So the
No,
front...
on the original side, the building as it looks now.
Yeah.
Can you go back one slide, Bill? No, two, there, right there. Okay. No wonder people drive by it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay. If, that is transparent, isn't it? I mean, that's lattice?
No, the photograph we're looking at right now is a solid wall.
You can leave
And
it
the windows look out to the north and the south.
to the neighbor's property?
Yeah, we have a sort of a long, skinny bocce ball court looking space on the one side, and then we have a shared courtyard with the planter and landscaping between
see.
us and the next building.
So when was that wall constructed?
1953,
53?
yeah.
Okay.
And as an aside point, we've been working very closely with Heidi Swank, and the building is designed according to historical preservation standards locally. We're not sure if we're going to get the designation or not. We probably will. But regardless of whether we do or not, it's built within those stringent standards.
The 208 looks like it's hand-painted on top of the brick. Where do you think it was originally? It looks ugly.
We don't know. Our neighbor is the niece of the person who built the building,
Yeah.
and she has plans somewhere, so we've been working to try to get those. They're in someone's storage place somewhere, so
Okay.
we might have a little bit more information when we get there, but for the moment, we don't know. We believe that the sign looks like the sign that we've added to it, which is a horizontal numbering in sort of Neutra-type lettering
Okay.
in metal.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Mayor, I move for approval of item 6.
Thank you. There's a motion on agenda item 6 to approve. Please vote and please post.
Craig has won some awards, too, I think, with us, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bunny
yes.
Fish, we've awarded you, or you earned some for us.
Yeah, we've won the Historical Preservation Award. We've won 3 MUDA awards.
Yeah.
And we weren't able to enter anything this year because, as happens in our world, we had a lot of things starting and nothing finishing.
Oh.
But next year we have 3 or 4 projects we'll be entering at least into the MUDA award
Thank you.
program.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you, guys.
Just,
Thank you very much for this
Now,
opportunity.
I know why you're not part of this year's group. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. The motion carried.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item 7, RA3 2017, discussion, possible action regarding a resolution finding the project proposed by the Commercial Visual Improvement Program agreement between the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency and Highland Industrial Park LLC, owner located 2901 South Highland, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the redevelopment plan, authorizing the execution of the CVIP agreement by the RDA not to exceed $25,000 and RDA Special Revenue Fund Redevelopment Area 1, Ward 3, Councilman Coffin. This item is related to Council Agenda Item 30R6-217.
Thank you. Again, for the record, Bill Arndt, Economic and Urban Development Director for the City of Las Vegas. With me today is Emil Khalili, who is the business owner of Highland Industrial Park LLC at 2901 South Highland Drive. The property, of course, is on Highland Drive, and this is what the property looks like today. It has a corrugated metal exterior, and they're looking to turn it into stucco plastered finish, enhancing the concrete exterior and painting, new gutters, LED lights, converted exterior columns, and new benches. So we think this is a dramatic improvement to the property. The business owner is looking to put in $63,000 into the property, a minimum there on the exterior, and therefore is eligible for a $25,000 VIP grant. This shows what the rendering will look like when it's finished. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Emil to introduce himself, talk a little bit about the business, and the timeline of when we can see these wonderful improvements finished.
Good morning, Madam Mayor and members of City Council. My name is Emil Khalili, Highland Industrial Park LLC. We have been in the Vegas market since 2005. We've done a number of different projects in the Vegas market. The first project that we did was acquisition of a land that we did entitlements and set it up, and Marriott International purchased that property from us. Later, we did another project, vacant apartment building, that we purchased, and we did a massive renovation. You might have been there, as a matter of fact, Madam Mayor, for U.S. Vets. We did the project, and we turned it over to U.S. Vets, and they're still occupying that property. And after that, we did another project that we acquired a vacant bonds market in City of Las Vegas. We renovated that, and we brought in Sears Outlet, and Sears Outlet is operating at that property currently, and it's one of their most successful locations in the nation.
Wow.
It's within the top 5. This is our most recent project right now. The property is actually much larger than this parcel. It's composed of 19 parcels, and we are doing massive renovations on all of these buildings, and it's a big undertaking. It's about 19 acres, 310,000 square foot that we are tackling in this project. And what we are doing is that we are putting 1-inch foam, thick metal lath, 16-inch from center. We put the screws, we put the diamond wall, and then 2 coats of very high, smooth finish of Omega Acroflex. So the end product looks very much like concrete tilt-up or very smooth stucco. The appearance is significantly better. When we started with this property and we took it under contract, occupancy was about 70%. We are hitting about 90% currently, and it's going to get even further improved. We have additional plans to operate businesses as ownership out of this property. We are looking to start general contractor services out of one of the buildings, and also we are looking to convert all of the lighting within the property to LED lights, and most of the fixtures within the inside of the property and outside of the property will be changed to new LED fixtures. So therefore, we're going to reduce the energy utilization significantly. We're planning to put solar panels, which we have sourced from one of the top Chinese companies, on direct basis and have a direct relationship as a distributor in future with them that we like to operate out of this property. So not only our purpose here is to own the property, but to conduct businesses, various businesses that relates to construction, LED, and solar out of certain portions of the buildings.
Would your solar, excuse me, go on the roof? The solar panels
yes.
on the roof of this building?
Yes. Yes, we would have the solars on the roof because we have about 300,000 plus square foot in surface area to place. And in addition, we have plans for signage along the freeway. The property extends from Highland all the way to Freeway 15. We have 1,400 foot of frontage along I-15. The property has a tremendous presence, and currently we are in the process of, we just finished putting gates in front of the property to secure the property. We have had problems with graffiti. We are eliminating those problems with graffiti and tagging, and our next goal is to brand the property by getting a 70-foot by 40-foot huge on-premise sign on the property to brand the property and have a presence for the tenants of the property, as well as the property itself has a brand that would be easily recognizable within the market.
Beautiful. Yeah, I know the graffiti on the east side of the 15 is really so unattractive for people coming into town, to say nothing of us residents, but this looks beautiful. Questions, comments, anyone? Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. The one question I have on the installation, it's the foam exterior that's getting used more and more. Is that going to be clad with metal?
It's a thick metal mesh that goes on top of it. My general contractor actually is here. Steve, do you want to?
All I'm saying is that if not properly applied and installed, it is a fire hazard. And so
we have had the structural engineer give us the details of how to install it, and we have had city inspection all along the process.
just make sure your contractor keeps an eye on the little stuff, because that stuff does burn, and so we found out. Anyway, it's code, and that's fine. It's just a bug of mine. I'm trying to warn people.
Well, the foam is a further insulation also, and it increases the R rating and energy star of the buildings. In future, our plan is to get LEED certification for these buildings and apply. We have an energy engineer on board with us who will be doing the calculations for submittal of LEED certification of the buildings in future.
Thank you, Emil. I bring that up as installed properly, it's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
And we
Mayor.
are having inspections all along the way.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I move for approval of item number 7.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a motion to approve on agenda item 7. Please vote and please post. Looks
Thank you very
great.
much for your time, and I want to thank Bill and Ms. June for all the support that they have given us throughout this process.
Thank you. Your motion carries, and we look forward to seeing this come about.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item 8, citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the Jurisdiction of the Redevelopment Agency. No subject may be acted upon by the Redevelopment Agency unless this subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come to the podium, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. This is your opportunity to address the Redevelopment Agency, but agency members are not able to respond or engage in dialogue. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak under this portion of the agenda? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 9. Agency member recognition. Comments made by the individual agency members during this portion of the agenda will not be acted upon by the agency unless the subject is on the agenda and scheduled for action. Is there any member of the Redevelopment Agency who wishes to speak under this portion of the agenda?
We're good.
Any other comments? Goodness gracious. Hearing none, the Redevelopment Agency is adjourned, and we will